Welcome everybody to the first ever The Deal Lab. We're here with Cara. So the Deal Lab is our opportunity to walk people through the properties that we see here at Savvy that are successful short-term rentals. Sometimes that might be properties that are available on the market that you could acquire. Today, we're actually going to be walking through a case study. So Cara is an exceptional STR agent and STR investor. She has specialized a lot in these sort of flips that become these top performing properties. So today, Cara is going to take us through the deal lab for a property in Florida. And Cara, I'll let you take it away, but I'll be here to ask some questions.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. I'm Cara Truckey. I am an STR agent down in the sunny Clearwater, Tampa, Florida area. Right now it's beautiful and sunny more than most of the country, and we are getting ready for peak season currently. So spring break is coming soon. Super exciting. So this is a little bit about me. Me and my husband started investing in STRs back in 2019. We have our first 5-bedroom home in Seminole, Florida, which is in the Tampa Clearwater market. Back in 2020, we bought it fully. It was basically in the 1970s, and we remodeled the whole thing. And now it's a successful short-term rental, and we also have a few other properties. And I love helping other investors see the vision that I've created and set their own vision. So I want to just go over a property that it was actually a dear friend of a couple of their friends of mine actually that bought a property back in September. And I'm going to share that with you guys. So this is a case study. It's in Seminole, Florida. It is a 5-bedroom, 3-bath home. These are some before pictures, and I'll just go over the stats on this house. So this house, was a 5-3. A lot of times, sometimes we're buying homes that aren't the bedroom count we want, and we're creating a bedroom. In this case, this house was a 5-3, had a large yard. One of the things we look for in this market is large yards, over 0.25 of an acre, because one of the things that draw people to this area are amenities like pickleball courts and pools and really that backyard space. So that's really what we're looking for. And then 5 bedrooms really sets you apart from the market. There's not as many 5-bedroom homes on the market as there is 4. And it's also less than 10 minutes from the beach. So this property also was, as you can see, outdated. This is a picture of the backyard.
Now, I'm
Big
curious, Cara, you guys had a pool already here. Was that part of your decision of why this was a good property that's eligible to, or no?
So I like properties that have pools. The process of putting in a pool does take longer, but there is some instances where you're gonna find a large lot where it'd be like, well, let's just put a pool in ourselves. It just takes a little more time. This pool actually had to be resurfaced. So even though from pictures it actually looks fine, but a lot of these homes that are from the 1970s, and you've seen this interior, it hasn't been updated. So we had to go into this, and I think a pool resurfacing is around 20,000. So they did have to resurface the pool. So this is the stats on the house. The purchase price was $580,000. Projected revenue is $250,000. Renovation and design was $500,000. All in is $1,080,000. And then we'll go over kind of March bookings. We launched in January as an active short-term rental, and we already have 35,000 for March. That's really awesome for a new listing. Just being listed in January, a lot of people already have their spring breaks booked by that time. So having 35,000 of bookings is awesome.
And you said this was acquired in September, so essentially the entire renovation took 3 months, which sounds awesome as people will see in the after photos. So it's 3 months about how much time it took you guys to take it through full renovation and staging?
Yeah, so the full renovation and staging did take 3 months. So yes, we closed in September, and It was actually done before Christmas, but just photography and permitting, getting it live took a little bit. So it was a really quick turnaround. We have great contractors. That's one thing as an STR agent. A lot of us savvy agents, most of us, I would say, have really good contractors that designers, contractors, people that can really help you take your project to the next level. I really stress that to all my clients. It's really who you work with. It's not a do-it-yourself project. The quicker you get this done, the quicker you make money. So really having the best people on your team. So this buyer actually is a contractor. He is a contractor in Wisconsin. So he had experience, but he also worked with a contractor there. He didn't do it himself. So it was awesome to see him let go of the reins a little bit. This house, like I said, was already a 5.3, but we did remove walls. You'll see here in this picture, there's a dining room, and there's also the kitchen. You see that wall? That was all torn down. Okay, this is our booking that we had in March. 12,431 is coming to us from Airbnb, which is awesome. So getting that booking high revenue right away is awesome for my client.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about being on Airbnb listed, no reviews yet, or do you guys have reviews by the time that booking came in?
We actually only had one review, and we only have 2 reviews yet. So if people don't know, it takes 3 reviews to get a star status. So when you're scrolling Airbnb, you need 3 reviews to actually get that 5.0 or whatever. So we have all these bookings without even having those 3 reviews, which is awesome. So this is also the after. So you saw the previous pictures, the pool. This tiki hut was added on the bottom left. Super awesome, great pictures. It sets a vibe for the property. The pickleball court, the mini golf. This is really an amenities-driven market. So having the amenities is super, super amazing. You'll see, yeah, so this property, this is the outside, and then I'll just go to the next slide. This is the garage here in the upper left too. We converted this to a game room / hangout area for the kids. And then on the right, it's like the adult game room, which is cool. And then this is a bunk room that was created, and then a master bedroom. So working with a really good designer, definitely game changing. This designer took this property to the next level also. Without this design, this property would not be making this much. Okay. So people do come to Florida to enjoy the outside, make it feel like a real vacation. These properties in this market, people want to come and just hang out outside. They aren't even necessarily looking to come for attractions in the area. The beach is obviously amazing, but really they just want to be by a pool, be in the sun. And some people just barely leave the properties. Also, yes, so garage conversions are also one thing I want to mention. In Florida, it's very common for STRs to utilize this garage space either as a game room or even converting it to a bedroom. So if we have a property that only has 4 bedrooms and doesn't have the square footage inside, you can convert a garage space to a bedroom also, which is awesome.
Yeah. And Cara, we have a comment. What market are we in right now?
So this is Seminole, Florida. So this is in the Clearwater area. Seminole is a city that is south of Clearwater, between St. Petersburg and Clearwater.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that. I mean, to me, when I see this design, what I'm seeing is a resort feel put into an STR. I mean, people want that resort feel. Like I'm sitting outside at the tiki hut. I can see myself holding my pina colada in my hand and hanging out by the pool. And that's what people are looking for.
Exactly. Exactly. And I really stress that too to clients, um, to really make that investment into design to get that return. Cause like this is what you need to do to reach that level of the 250,000 gross income. This is what the comps are showing. And you can really do well in this market. One thing I want to go back to too on this initial investment in this property, my buyers, they bought this property for 580,000. They put 500,000 into it. They're at 1,080,000. The comps in this neighborhood, they haven't reappraised it currently, but I know from other sales and from other comps, this house would appraise for 950. So they put all this work in, and really they have 100,000, which would be their furnishings and design, that they have over and above that. They could refinance and capture some of that cash and then also turn that into another investment. So really doing this work, updating the property, it took 3 months, but you got tons of value, tons of equity built in the property also.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, it's interesting because I do think turnkey Airbnbs, they can bring a premium price. It can be difficult to get them. Having that vision and having the trust and going out there and saying, we can go and create the inventory is huge. I mean, it's a huge opportunity.
Totally. I think selling this to somebody, they wouldn't have, you don't have the time, right? So if we find a property like this and we bring it to our buyers, we already have the proven revenue. If I was to market this property to somebody and show them the March bookings, it would be a no-brainer to bring that. If say it appraised at 1 million, if you had to bring money for the design to get your return at 250 a year, I mean, that's a great investment.
Yeah. And if you bought it turnkey ready to go, you can't take that cash back out to redeploy elsewhere. Whereas that refinance opportunity to continue your investments, that's available only if you do this strategy.
Yeah. So I think we have buyers on each, and we always, whenever we're talking with a client too, it's definitely seeing what the client, some people don't have a risk tolerance, or like not even risk tolerance, just knowing that all that work, they've never done a project like this. So really knowing that they can trust us and we have the people to help them with that. But it also sometimes is a time thing. At the end of the year, we're helping people buy in December. They don't have time to put all this work and they're saving money on taxes. So if it's a tax strategy versus an equity strategy, really just figuring out which option is best for our client and trying to find them the right property is our goal.
Yeah.
Um,
Because right now you guys are booking for high season. I mean, spring break is kind of your start, right?
yeah, so high season is starting. I always think it's a great time to buy, right? But the June through July is actually just as good as March. And I didn't know that when I first entered the market as a short-term rental investor. Tons of people from Central Florida or drivable distances come in June and July because they want to go to the beach. Um, so it's also peak season. So you really hit the low season in August, September. And actually, the people that I have that are buying turnkey properties currently for peak season, they are doing upgrades. They're running the property as is for now, and
Mhm.
then doing upgrades in August, September when it's slow. So really figuring out what strategy is best for the buyer is really the way to go. So this property, yes, it's doing awesome. Great buy for my clients. I think the cool thing having these case studies is being able to show future clients that we can, like, this is possible. Because sometimes I think sometimes when you've never done this before and you see a property, the before pictures of the property, right? There's that before picture, those before pictures weren't very pretty. And it needed a lot of work. So setting that vision and showing them this is what it was, this is what it is now, and being able to then bring a buyer another property like that, it really helps us paint that picture.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned earlier the pool and knowing some of the permitting processes for that. Whenever I think of Florida, I think of HOA restrictions and knowing those regulations. And that's one of the real benefits of working with a savvy STR agent is that since you're in the market and you're an investor, like you know these rules and regulations, you're going to help people. They can trust not only you know the contractors, but you know the rules.
Yeah. So Tyler's actually said this, and it really sticks in my mind. He's like, I'm probably going to say no to you when you bring me a property like 90% of the time. So when I bring you a property, it's definitely a good property. I do have clients. It's hard to know where in the market to go unless you work with somebody that knows. Not all realtors know where you can and can't STR. So one of the things we definitely avoid HOAs. That's just a no-brainer for me. I do stress that to clients, even if an HOA would allow a short-term rental. I would be very leery of that. There's plenty of areas to invest outside of HOA. So we avoid HOAs. And then also unincorporated county. So we're in Pinellas County. It's actually, I should have added a map here, but it's like a spider. It's really property specific and you have to really know the area. And I actually have a website I can verify an address on to make sure that it's within the regulated area. So I actually just helped a buyer. We got under contract today. It's in an STR neighborhood in St. Petersburg. It's literally probably a 2-mile radius that is STR friendly in this certain neighborhood. You have to really know it. So knowing your market, I did just talk to somebody who's like, I had an agent sell me a property that wasn't in an area where we can STR. So for instance, you cannot STR in Clearwater. So I am in the Clearwater area, but you cannot actually short-term rent in Clearwater.
Interesting.
Yes.
We have somebody asking how many properties you currently own. I know you both own, manage, and you've also done these flips where you've then sold it. So
yeah, so I own 4 in the market, in this market. I do own investments in other areas outside of this market. I'm originally from Wisconsin, so I do have short-term rentals still there and some long-term multifamily properties. So I've been investing for a long time. I started in the long-term rental investing. And then I also manage 10 currently in this market. My team does.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, I think there's a property for every buyer. I think it's great that we can show these case studies. I think working with an STR agent that knows the market, that operates in the market is definitely key. I would like to actually mention the property that I just told you about that had like a 2-mile radius that could be STR'd. It's also leverage that we have. The agent who listed this property put 8 to 12 month minimum lease on the listing contract. So nobody was even looking at this property for short-term renting. So my
Wow.
buyer is getting a great deal also.
Yeah.
Because I looked it up and I was like, wait a second. And the agent is super sweet, but she said to me, I really don't know. I don't keep up on that stuff. I just put that because I wanted to be safe. So
Yeah. It happens. It happens all the time.
yeah, so really knowing our markets and knowing where you can and can't STR is important.
Yeah. Awesome. If you, go to the next one here. John, you mentioned wanting to find your STR BRRRR. If you want to talk to Cara about what might be available in her market that she can help you with, you can lock in a time to speak with her. I know we have agents in other markets capable of it, so it's not in the cards for you. In the Clearwater area, definitely get with Cara. She'll talk about it and then find out if it's the right fit or not. That's the great thing about our agents is they are so client focused. Like they will tell you this is not the market for you with what you want, what returns you want, or what you want to spend. So get connected if you haven't already. STR specific agent, just because you sell the market, yeah, absolutely. I think as Cara just mentioned, those MLSs, agents don't know, and I would be scared if I didn't know. I wouldn't want to promise that to anybody. So that's the beauty of working with us. So this is Cara's. If you scan that QR code, it'll take you right to her calendar. But her contact information is here. And then Cara, they can find you on Facebook as well, right?
Right. Yeah. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. Reach out. I'd love to chat with you. you have questions around the market or even the design and the build out of a property, reach out.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Cara. And anybody, if you want to tune into more Deal Labs, let us know what you want to see. If there are specific markets, case studies, available properties, you want to watch us underwrite a property and walk through that and how we analyze, we would love to help show you what we're doing and help you feel confident in your next STR purchase. So feel free to leave us a comment, DM, get on our calendars. And thank you so much, Cara. We appreciate you.
Thank you guys. Take care.